We're making these beautiful detachable sleeves for your sleeveless dresses that you cannot style to church or style comfortably. This is absolutely the solution. Hi guys, my name is Nayachon. I teach how to make beautiful dresses. So right here I have 1 yard of this beautiful fabric. Now you can do this in plain colors that work with many colors like black, nude, brown, white. It will do you a lot of good. So this fabric has a length of 58 inches, and then I have just 1 yard. 1 yard of a fabric that is by 60 would do the job. Okay, now fold that 1 yard into two, because mine is folded into two equal parts just like this, and then we're going to slit it open. Now once you're done, this is what you would have. Go ahead and stitch the edges together just like this. Now once you're done stitching one of the edges just like this is what you'd have. I've already gone ahead to stitch and I've ironed it flat. Next thing you want to do is to fold your fabric into two equal parts just like this. By the time you join those two pieces, you'd have about 120 inches long fabric, because this is very long after joining. Okay, now go ahead, fold it into two equal parts and stitch the edge just like this. All right, I've gone ahead to stitch up, and this is what I have, guys. The next thing will be to flip this to the right side. After flipping, you can already see the next thing we'll do is to iron this flat. After ironing, give it a very good iron. The next thing you want to do is to create the casing for our elastic. Now for this elastic, we'll simply give or make two straight stitches at the very center of this piece, just like this, as long and straight as your fabric. Okay, now after we've done that, or rather before we do that, I have an elastic of 1 inch, so it's wider than what I need. What I need is an elastic of ½ inch, just like this. So the simple hack I did is to cut out ½ inch of my elastic. This tiny elastic you're seeing, I took it out from that bold one. Okay, it's a hack that comes in very handy if you do not have the exact ½ inch you need. Now this is my sewing machine, and I'm going to stitch straight down. I don't know why my machine needle was on a mission to destroy my fabric. I tried changing the needle like 3 times, but it didn't work. So after stitching, I just went ahead to iron again to mend the fabric shrinkage. Okay, now you can see that casing I've created by the center of my fabric, right? Okay, so now that we have gotten the casing for the elastic, let us get our elastic. Now what you need is 1 yard of elastic or 43 inches of elastic. What I have here is exactly 43 inches, but for it to be a little stretchy and firm on my shoulders, I will just remove about 4 inches from that 43 inches. Okay, so next now do now is to go ahead and pass this through. You need to work with your shoulder measurement. If your round shoulder or shoulder circumference is 42 inches, it means that the elastic you will use is like 39 or 38 inches. If your round shoulder is 48 inches, you can go ahead and remove like 4 inches from your elastic, and then the elastic you need is 44 inches, about 1½ yard of elastic thereabout. Okay, now that's just the trick. Whatever is your shoulder circumference, remove 4 inches from your elastic and work with that. If you want it to be very tight, you can go ahead and remove even more. Okay, but this one I want it to be as loose as possible. If you see how it is on my shoulder, on my body, you know that I'm very comfortable. So go ahead now and pass the elastic carefully using your safety pin. Keep passing it through until the whole of your elastic is inside the case. Now once my elastic gets to the edge of the fabric like this, I'll secure with a pin. Okay, and then I'll go ahead and keep passing the other edge through to the other edge of the fabric. You have to do this so that your elastic does not escape the area where you want it to stay. Now once the elastic is out from the second edge of your fabric, just like this, you can secure with pins and then take this to the sewing machine to stitch together both edges of your fabric, just like this. Okay, now before stitching down, very importantly, make sure that your fabric is properly aligned, because if you do it wrongly, a part of the fabric may have twisted and you are not aware. So please make sure it is very straight before you go ahead and stitch. Now I've gone ahead to stitch and this is what we have. Okay, look at the area I stitched. I stitched is using French stitches so that I don't have any rough edge popping out. This is exactly where I stitch and it looks so neat. Yes, you can actually do this and make it available for sale because people will really buy. Some people love sleeveless outfits that they can rock for dinner, dates, and also rock to church. You get me? So this is a very good hack. So here we are done with this beautiful piece. The next thing we'll go ahead to do is that second sleeve. Alright, so you'll need 1 yard of fabric just like earlier, and we'll divide the 1 yard into 2 equal parts, 18 inches. Okay, after dividing it, this is what you have. For this particular sleeves, we'll be joining both pieces together. We'll keep them separately, fold them into 2 equal parts like this, and stitch them down separately. I'll show you. You can see the way that I folded it into 2, just like this. The next thing you want to do is to take this to the sewing machine and stitch right on the edges. Okay, you do that for the 2 pieces. Alright, don't join your pieces together, leave them separately, just like this. Please notice the area I'm stitching on, right? I'm stitching just half inch from the edge of my fabric. Alright, I've finished for one piece. I'll do the same for the other. And guys, here is my result. This is what you have. You can go ahead and iron, give it a good iron. Next is to go ahead and create the casing for the elastic. I'm using my ruler because I want it to be as straight and neat as possible. Now we are creating half-inch casing for our half-inch elastic. Okay, the only difference between this particular detachable sleeve and the initial one is that the initial one is a circle, like a cut together, while this one is 2 circles. Okay, the first one is just 1 circle while this one is 2 different circles. That's why I did not join my fabric together. Now that we have understood that, the next thing we'll do is to take this to sewing machine and create the casing. Okay, make sure you stitch on the line which you've drawn. Now the next thing would be to actually insert the elastic. This is our casing. I used a white thread. Please don't do this at home. Don't try it at home. Use the exact color, okay? It's for the sake of this tutorial, I had to use Remember white. I told you earlier that I didn't have half-inch elastic, so I had to just cut out half-inch from my big or bolder elastic. Okay, this is what I meant. Don't worry, the elastic will not be ruined. Okay, I do this a lot, so I have experience. But if you have half-inch elastic, go ahead and use what you have. Now for the elastic, the length of the elastic you need, simply measure around your armhole circumference. Whatever it is you have, remove 2 inches, and that will be the length for your elastic. Okay, so around my armhole is 18 inches. If I remove 2 inches, that will give me 16 inches, and what I have right here on my elastic as 16 inches. Okay, now I'm going to insert my safety pin and then pass this through each of the pieces we have. After inserting the elastic, this is what you would have. You already know what to do. Go ahead and stitch both edges of your fabric together like this. After stitching up, this is what it will look like, right? Now I want to show you how to achieve that French seam thingy. So after stitching up, this is what you have. That part that is rough stitched, that place that has the rough edges of the fabric, flip it to the right side like this. you're going to hold it very firmly and then stitch it again from the wrong side. Now once you're done, this is exactly what you have. So that's pretty much that about this tutorial. See you guys in my next video. Thank you so much for watching. Bye.